Wait, hold on. This sounds better. Woo! So I always forget how hard the intro goes, and I'm like, yes, and then I'm like, welcome to the show, guys. So,
We'll just listen to the intro over and over again, and it'll be great.
so
Actually,
well,
oh,
sorry.
but
Let me do a quick intro. So, all right, guys, welcome to the show. It's called The Escape because we think escapism is important and should be defended, and we are here to defend it.
whew,
Ha! Get you some of that. So, what are we going to be defending today? Not well, definitely not Joker 2 so far. That thing's getting ripped to shreds by everybody.
ooh,
We're going to talk about The Penguin on HBO Max, or just Max, I think they call it. Talk about like one of the dumbest just marketing things on the planet is dropping like HBO Max or HBO, just, part of the business that's just known for excellence in entertainment. Yeah, let's get rid of that. But
and then with Cinemax too, right? So it's like, what
yeah, I just
are
like,
you guys doing?
yeah, you went with the Skinamax
Yes,
part. You kept the Skinamax, left the HBO part,
yes.
whatever. So, and Nate's been watching Agatha all along. I have not. I'm not doing that. So Nate's gonna talk about Agatha. You're gonna talk about some of the stuff you're doing.
Yep.
But first one, Nate, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm I'm tired today, but I don't know. It just kind of. I went to get a sandwich earlier, and I asked the guy how he was doing behind the counter, and he probably looked like he was in his mid-20s. He's like, "I'm so tired," and I'm like, "Man, doesn't really get any better." I don't know what to tell you. You just get used to being tired all the time.
Yeah, it's the classic like adult meme. Be like, I'm always tired, always.
But I'm happy. I will say that, happy but tired.
Yeah,
No, not
that's
always happy, but you know what I mean.
yeah, that kind of. It's more like content and tired. Like usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Nothing's too terrible, but yeah, always feel like you could use a nap. So
Yes.
so
I don't know, Josh, if you're watching, we're sending you some extra love. Josh is working 3 12-hour days in a row,
uh,
um, and he's not feeling well though. He might be coming down with something. Josh, I miss you. Take it easy. Yes.
Josh, we miss you. Got to have you on the show, sir. When you're not working a gajillion hours, I guess. But yeah, I've been in those situations where these next 3 days, they're not just gonna suck; they're gonna super suck.
Yes.
So
Embrace the suck.
yeah, unfortunately, embraces suck a little bit, but also hopefully the paycheck's worth it for you. So that's
Yep.
that's always the thing. But like, I really really hope this is worth it. I hope the government doesn't hurt me too much on this.
Yeah. For real.
But I do get to play one of my favorite clips because, as it turns out, or it's not a friend of the show. He doesn't know we exist, but Wesley said something dumb going after. Oh, geez, what was his name? Is it Zach Levi? He just came out and was, everything's uber political, and Levi comes out and says, "Yeah, I'm supporting this person," and then of course Wesley has to put his 2 cents in, worth even though no one really cares. So I get to play this. So
But shut up, Wesley.
anytime I get to play that clip, I will use it and I will abuse it. So, and just for if you don't believe me,
But shut up, Wesley.
Hey, Nick, my name is Wesley, and I've got something important to say.
But shut up, Wesley.
so that, can you imagine in The Princess Bride? Like, it's always like anytime you see a movie where they fall in love and you think everything is to be perfect, and you just know it's not because you've been married and you just know how it goes. Like after The Princess Bride, you think, how do the arguments between Wesley and Buttercup?
But shut up, Wesley.
Just good stuff like that. So
Hold on. I got one.
okay.
When, how do you think Marshall? I don't know how to say his last name.
Oh yeah,
But how do
Yeah,
you think you felt after watching Deadpool versus Wolverine when Wesley Snipes said, "There'll only ever be one blade"?
But shut up, Wesley. But shut up, Wesley.
and just cause. So
Yes.
anyway,
All right.
all right. So what do you want to go on to first?
I don't know.
Let's go with the Joker sequel because
Yeah.
if it were good enough, I'd call it the proper title, but so far it's not. So, Nate, it's kind of one of those things. I don't think there's a lot of movies that they make and you go, you know what, that movie's just fine. It doesn't need a sequel.
Yeah.
And I felt that way about the Joker. But you knew the studio would hold up a second. We just made $1 billion off this movie that we didn't care about. We literally just said, "Hey, Todd Phillips, you're really funny. You've made us a lot of money before. Yeah, you can do this Joker film. Whatever, no big deal." And then it goes on to be one of the highest grossing movies I think of the year, definitely for Warner Brothers. And I'm going to steal this a little bit from Gary from Neurotic because he's probably like, "Hey, Todd, we really want to make this. Hey, we need you a sequel." No. Hey, beep, beep, beep. We're going to keep backing up the Brinks truck. He's like, "All right, fine, but I'm going to make it a musical." That's cool. Like, he's like, "No, I don't want to do it. I'll make it a musical. I swear to God, I'm going to make it a musical." He's like, "That's fine, Todd. Just make us a sequel to the Joker. That's all we want." And for all intents and purposes, like, the performances are fine, the direction's fine. All the technical things for like a good movie, it's just apparently in the storyline it rips the first one in half. So it's like, okay, what this is why we don't need movies that we don't need.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a all women Ghostbuster movie. Didn't need that. Didn't want that. No one asked for that. I don't even think anybody wanted a sequel to the Joker. I think everybody realized, like, you know what? This is fine just by itself. So.
Well, I do have to say, if anyone saw my clever video on the Night of the Chihuahuas where I had the Lady Gaga look-alike and the Harley Quinn or the Margot Robbie look-alike both dress up as Harley Quinn, and then she said, "This is my Joker face," and so like her poker face. Yes, that's why they cast her. my poker.
Go, "This is my Joker face, my Joker face."
Yes.
And for that,
shut up, Wesley.
But shut up, Wesley.
There we go.
No, it's funny. I was actually working on writing something, and I never knew what it's folie do. Is that how you pronounce it?
I am not French.
But do you know what it actually means?
I Googled it and then I forgot. But
if I understand because I was writing something, is like it's two people that are sharing. I just had the word. They're sharing the same psychosis, almost like they're like a delusion.
okay.
They're sharing the same delusion. I thought that was pretty interesting because I was trying to like see if there's a word for it. I'm like, oh, there is a word, and it's a movie, and it's coming out in a month. But yeah, I've heard it's just like courtroom drama and singing, pretty much.
Yeah, courtroom drama and singing, but also like, hey, if you really like that first Joker movie, maybe you can see this.
Too bad.
Yeah, sorry. It might. From my understanding, because I a lot of the YouTubers that I follow that I watch on a regular basis, like when they start talking about a movie I really want to see, I don't watch their content, just because I don't want to be too spoiled about it. But Nate, are you familiar with the Highlander movies?
The original ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know about Highlander 2?
I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while.
Okay, so anybody who, hasn't seen the Highlander, if you just want to go on a stroll with me down memory lane, so Highlander, excellent movie. Connor McLeod, Clan McLeod, uh, is an immortal, and there's this big tournament with all different immortals, and the only way to defeat immortals is to chop their head off. Which that is just the best premise for a movie I've ever heard in my entire life. Thank God it came from the '80s and not today. But then there was a sequel that turned the immortals into these aliens, and next thing you know, it kind of completely undoes the entire Highlander thing. I have a feeling that's kind of what Joker 2 does. So
Yeah.
where it just kind of really completely undoes the first movie, and it's like, and now I know this is like, do I want to see it? But here's the problem. So my son is a big Joker fan, not just the movie, but the character in general. So I'm like, hey man, haven't seen you in a while. Let's get together. Let's watch this movie. We'll hang out. He's like, that'll be great. I was like, fantastic. So now I've talked myself into that this weekend. So there's no avoiding that.
Mhm.
So, which I'm very happy for the family time. Just unfortunately, I wish it could be better spent. I think. So,
Yes.
But yeah, we're gonna go check it out this weekend, and hopefully it's really good, and hopefully it's fun, and hopefully it's not what everybody says it is.
Yeah.
But I think we all know which way that trains are rolling. So, but let's switch over to some of the DC stuff that's actually pretty good, Nate, if that's all right. And that is the Penguin show over on, as we stated earlier, over on Max. I just watch through the streaming app. I don't watch too much stuff on the actual cable box anymore. But Nate, have you had a chance to check the series out?
Not yet. No, I haven't.
Okay, so did you watch the Batman though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all based off of the Penguin's character, and they're actually doing something I've really wanted them to do, and they're actually doing it well, and I'm very excited about this. Where they created such a very cool, and I'll give Adam credit for this, and not just Adam, but what they've done is you have to make Gotham a character unto itself, a living, breathing thing, and Matt Reeves did such a good job in the Batman. Like, there's plenty of room to go play in the sandbox, if you will, and they're just really letting Colin Farrell kind of go crazy and just doing just a superb job of portraying the Penguin. Because honestly, like, it's one of those things. If you didn't know he was under there, you had no idea that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the better performances through, especially with heavy prosthetics, because it's just not the face. Like, they've done, like, basically not quite naked, but like where it's a full suit. So just getting such an excellent performance through that, it kind of reminded me of, and it sucks, I'm terrible, Arlong. Did you watch One Piece TV series?
Yeah.
Netflix. So it reminded me of the Arlong, because I thought the actor who played Arlong did such a phenomenal job in bringing that performance through all the prosthetics and all that. They do a fantastic job. It's right up there where it's like, it's just, I'm not an actor, but I've seen lots of performances, and just knowing like what it takes to emote, especially through that much prosthetics, I think is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
So,
One that always sticks out in my head was Leo DiCaprio. Forget the Revenant, when he was like literally jumping into like freezing water. I mean, he chose to do that role. I think that'd be difficult for anyone to emote through.
Yeah, you were chose to get basically abused by a bear for God knows how long that took.
But you get an Oscar. I mean,
finally got one. I say, how did he not get an Oscar for The Departed? How did not every single award go to The Departed?
Yeah, it's true.
So, but anyway, so the Penguin, so it follows basically, picks up right after the end of the Batman, and it's the city's basically washed away. It's in kind of chaos. My understanding is Batman is not really in play right now, just because, and they mentioned this in the story, that he's kind of stepped away, and it's more one of those things to actually kind of stepped away so he could focus more on being basically a better Batman and being better detectives. So right now, the city's wide open, and one of the people taking advantage of that is Oswald Cobblepot, and it just kind of shows him where it's so well written, just because just the way they set him up, where he's a big shot, and then you learn, like, through his actions and other things, like, oh, you're not a big shot, you are completely bullshitting this entire thing, like, this, your entire plan is hanging by a thread, and we are just going along for the ride. And you get introduced to a lot of characters. The one who's not really working for me, and I had to ask my wife, because I was like, is she not pulling this off for me? And that's the actress who plays Sophia Falcone. Good actresses. I've seen her in other things. It's just there's, Nate, I'm sure you've been around enough people where you've seen legitimate crazy, where you're just like, there's people trying to act crazy, and I think she's kind of one of those where like, God bless you, you're probably just like a normal, semi-normal, as far as actors go, well-adjusted person. Yeah. And it seems like just when she's trying to do the crazy, she just makes her eyes just a little bit bigger. Yeah. And I'm just like, but you know who she should be taking her lessons from? Real quick. So
I just have to say that if that's the same one, she did a movie called Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. That's fantastic.
Okay. So you want to see some real crazy eyes, my friend? That's Crazy Eyes right there. So that's how you go, like, there's something mentally unstable about that person. So
either that or they saw something horrible.
So, but I'm really enjoying the show. It's a lot of fun, and it's just it's one of the nice things where it's legitimately, like, as adults as you can make it. Where I think there's a little bit of nudity, some other stuff, but like, if you're into gangster stuff, it's really well done, and just it's just nice to have a show. I'm like, oh, hey, that's on Sunday. I have something to watch on Sundays now.
Nice. There's a little bit of nudity in House of the Dragon too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, not nearly as bad as Game of Thrones, but there's lots of naughtiness in Mr. Martin's world. But yeah, naughty. So, but yeah, definitely giving the Penguin a recommend. It's only on episode 2. I think it's supposed to be 8 episodes this season, but thoroughly enjoying it and can't wait for next episode. So, and Nate, you were watching Agatha all along.
I don't even remember why I wanted to watch it. But
it's like, I just kind of on accident kind of started watching it.
Well, no, but there was something that was intriguing about it, and I mean, it's just like, I think I said this maybe last time we were on, it's something different. It's a different, like, lore to it than I'm used to. I feel like it's a different lore than Disney really has covered. It may be the scariest. I think Multiverse of Madness was pretty scary, but this has some definite, like, horror elements to it. And it's not over the top. It is fun. So it's walks this kind of line of light and dark, and it's a mystery at the same time. So it's like I'm really enjoying kind of seeing where they're going to go with it. I mean, the episodes are about a half an hour, and there's I don't. We talked a little bit about it before, but I'm not sure we want to speak it on air. But just some of the agendas. It's just like. I don't know. It feels very pushed. Um, it like to like so they have the LGBTQ thing, and it's like, do you have to be that to be a witch? It's like, like they're pushing the agenda very hard. So it's like, I'm not against it at all, but it feels like, can't you like play it out like everybody in the show is either, this or that. So I don't
Yeah,
want. I'm not speaking bad about it. I'm just saying
no. But I know exactly what you're saying because just example, my wife and I we were watching one of my guilty pleasures on the planet. We were watching the new season of the Great British Bake Off,
Mhm.
and I didn't want to say it, but I was almost going to say, be like, okay, so of how many of the gays are going to be on this show? Because because without a doubt, the BBC is one of the biggest offenders of the DEI, the diversity, equity, inclusion. So, and I didn't want to say it just because my wife gets annoyed when I start bringing that stuff up, but she kind of mentioned it. She's just like, okay, so they've got like they're usually 50-50 about men versus women, and most of the men are gay, and then the other men are either diverse or just just average dudes, and then there's bound. She's like, I'm wondering who the lesbian is going to be, and everybody else. There's this this colored person. There's this colored person. This colored person. It's just like it feels like they're checking boxes, and
Yeah.
that's how I feel. Where you're just going, guys, there's ways to do this. There's ways to organically do this instead of just going, okay, all right, we need an Asian, we need a black person, we need a.
That's exactly how the Agatha is.
It's just okay. We need someone who's gay, and if they're a person of color, that's a bonus. It's just like, and I'm just like, you can just see like, oh, you're checking, check. Okay, guys, we hit all as many boxes as we can check. Can we tell a story now? And it's just like, yeah, if it's getting to a point where even my wife is going like, okay, like not like I said, not that it's offensive, but it's just so obvious that they're checking boxes and
Yeah.
it's not even trying to hide it at this point. So
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who's an actor in LA. He's a writer, director, and he said, a lot of the casting, all they want is like mixed people now. He's from Nicaragua, but he's 100% Nicaraguan, and he's like, they just want people that are mixed now, half black, half white most of the time, or Asian and black or whatever,
oh yeah,
to show that diversity. And it's interesting. I mean, like, I remember hearing about. I know we're going off track, but like Scarlett Johansson was trying to get a role to play a trans.
oh yeah. No,
Um,
she had the role.
oh,
They wanted. I think they wanted her. I think it was one of those things where if she was attached, the movie's going to get made.
yeah,
And then I forget the name of the movie, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah. Well, it's just funny because you want to represent, and I get it. But I mean, like as a performer, you want challenging roles. Like, can people that are schizophrenic only play schizophrenics? Or can killers only be played by killers?
Yeah, and kind of well to finish off the point. So Scarlett Johansson had this role. I think it was to be. I think it was a trans bar owner or something like that. And then there was a bunch of backlash where, well, what is there no trans actor to play it? It's just like, here's how Hollywood works, boys and girls.
Yeah,
If you get a big enough name attached to it, people will watch it, like Scarlett Johansson.
yeah,
Besides, maybe Elliot Page, how many openly trans people are there? Actors are there, actresses, they, them. I don't know. I'm getting into dangerous territory myself. But the point is, how many are big enough draw to say, ooh, I want to go see that?
yeah,
Not that many,
yeah.
if at all.
It's true. It's very true. It's like trying to make comic books. You get a high paid artist. Did they were they actually in The Shining? Can they draw The Shining? Like, sorry, I'm taking a little bit to the.
No, well, it's they do. do they do it all the time? How many times do you bring in, let's pivot to comics. How many times do they bring in a big time artist or big time writer for the first 12 issues, maybe 10 issues, maybe whatever. Everybody's ooh, ooh, ooh. And then, okay, well, that run's done. And now it's just handed off to whoever.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the concern with Skybound and Transformers. They had Daniel Warren Johnson come in. Dude freaking crushed it the first 12 issues, but he's gone. So is the quality and all that going to keep up? Who knows? Because that's a really fun comic. That's probably I think that's probably going to go on a lot of people's top comic of the year. And
Yeah.
there's a big fingers crossed. Hope it's good.
Well, hey, we could probably talk off on this thing. I'll just say for Agatha all along, I'm enjoying it. I'm in for the ride. They're doing some fun stuff. It's nothing that's new and amazing, but the lore is different, and it's fun to explore like a new world, I guess, and that Disney's doing it. And I mean, they did something. It like caught me off guard. Like I forget which show we were talking about where they like the character like broke someone's neck, and it was like, oh wow, like they're really going for it. Like, surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just say this: when they wrapped up Endgame, and then they kind of basically started Disney Plus, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have all these shows," and I'm just like, I do not care. I do not care about any of these shows.
Yeah.
And I don't think I found one of the Marvel Disney Plus shows where I'm just like, I don't think I've liked any of them.
I liked WandaVision. It was well, I mean, it was during COVID, so there was that, but it was also different and kind of had you wondering. But yeah, I mean, a lot of them were just kind of fluff.
Well, and that was the thing. That was fine. I was just like, I don't care about relationships and like comic book stuff. I don't care about that. It was like, don't you want to see how Wanda and Vision are as a couple? I'm like, no, I have no interest in that show.
Yeah.
Look, there's certain things, and I'll say certain things are not meant for me. But like when it comes to my comic stuff, I was like, I don't. And this is why I get so upset when they start, changing fundamental things of characters like, sexuality and this and that. I was just like, I don't care about that in the first place. So stop making such a big deal about that. No, I don't want to see the everyday lives of my superheroes. I want to see my superheroes doing heroic stuff.
Superhero stuff.
That's why I buy the comics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just chalked it up to me for like, hey, what do you know? Another show I had zero interest in.
What do you mean? Much. You knew the Acolyte was coming. You were excited.
Okay. Speaking of things that kind of snuck up on the radar here, article, The Hollywood Reporter dropped this article, this gem of a freaking article today. Hold on, let me scroll to the top and then let me bring it up, because I was just like, sometimes you just have to go like, all right, I know, hey, media, you're a little bit slow on the uptake, and sometimes, the nerds, especially with YouTubers now, it's pretty simple. Like we can pivot a little bit faster. They just put this out today, Nate. This is James Hibbert. Is Disney bad at Star Wars? An analysis. So, and it's I almost didn't read the article. I kind of was just gonna you just take the title and run with it. But God bless X, because they're like, do you want to read the article? I was like, fine, I'll read the article. It starts off pretty fine. There's an exchange in Star Wars The Force Awakens when Rey and Finn are fleeing stormtroopers and searching for a way to escape. Rey spots the legendary Millennium Falcon and declares it looks like garbage. and then quickly reconsiders, the garbage will do. Increasingly, that's the attitude some fans have about Disney's Star Wars programming. Look, we all know this isn't fantastic anymore, but Star Wars is still Star Wars, and therefore, it will do. Which, in fairness, for a long time, that's kind of where I was like, look, it's Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Okay, let's go. But then they kept making movies. And then, I kind of had to be like, look, I can't. This isn't Star Wars, so I'm not going to pretend that it is. And it kind of goes through, and it kind of takes goes through the movies and this and that and all the different TV shows, of which fans have been complaining about literally the entire time. So let's see what the final analysis is here as I scroll all the way down. So, and yes, it talks about the Acolyte and even talks about the hotel and all that good stuff. But let's see.
I want to see those deals at Kroger.
Kroger, we love Kroger. Kroger's great. We get fuel points. So let's, at long last, get back to the big question in the headline. Is Disney bad at Star Wars? On balance, no. Disagree with you. Disney gave Star Wars fans what they wanted for decades, a lot more Star Wars, but also there was more comics and books and everything. Yes, Star Wars fans wanted more Star Wars, but also what they wanted most of all? Good Star Wars. So, from different visionary filmmakers, and some of it's been terrific. No, for the most part, no, it hasn't. A dormant franchise once followed a single dynastic storyline has exploded into a more diverse galaxy of characters and stories. Even the off-maligned sequel trilogy has sequences within each film that are arguably stunning. For all its narrative flaws, the Rise of Skywalker's farewell scene between Han Solo and Kylo Ren is as moving as anything in the canon. And shows like The Mandalorian, Andor, and Rebels clear even the highest bar a hardcore fan might reasonably set. A lot of online uproar is a sign of audiences are at least still very engaged and care about this franchise. A true sign of failure would be apathy and disinterest. That's where we're at. We're at apathy and disinterest. That's why the Acolyte failed. Damn you people.
Shut up, Wesley.
Damn it, Nate.
But shut up, Wesley.
Sorry, it's my bad. Shouldn't have been better at that. So, all right, moving on. But here's another question: could Disney be better at Star Wars? Clearly, yes. Agree with you on that one. The company's live-action TV shows and TV efforts, on average, could and should be better. In 2018, Disney CEO Bob Iger admitted the company made a mistake with Star Wars making movies a little too much too fast. Yes, but also being crappy. Jeez. Any criticism from the sidelines, however, should be tempered with one final point: making a successful Star Wars project is really, for fuck's sake. Any criticism from the sidelines, however, should be tempered with one final point: making successful Star Wars project is really hard, Nate.
It's really hard.
For the love of God. Guys, making good Star Wars is really, really hard.
Sounds like a cop-out.
No shit.
Shut up, Wesley. This is Wesley reporting, right?
But shut up, Wesley.
Jesus Lord. Oh God, it's all right. Yeah, I am done with this thing. If only there was some content out there you could have followed as a blueprint. Like I don't know, all the comics, the books, the EU stuff, and they're and that's the thing. So the Ray movie that they announced, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, has been, and that's there. It's on the verge or been quietly canceled because everybody kind of got excited, like, oh, they're gonna make a Ray movie. It's like there's a big fat difference when it comes to movies between announcing something and greenlighting something. Because greenlight means go ahead. Usually you've got something going, and hopefully, when a movie's greenlit, usually there's you got to. Getting back to our point with Scarlett Johansson, how do you get things greenlit? Usually you have a big star, a big time director, a big time writer, like all these things. And I think everybody just said, no, thank you. So, but that's that article today. I was just like, oh my God, that Star Wars making good Star Wars is really hard. Holy Jesus.
So is making duck confit, but
Well, it's just like, oh man, like, all right, I'm a fat guy, I'm overweight. No, not a shocker. But here's the thing: it's like, all right, so all you got to do, work out every day, not eat like crap, all these things. And I go, yeah, but you know what? That's really hard. That's like you said, that's such a cop out of, yeah, we know what to do, we know how to do it, but you know what? It's really hard, so we're not gonna freaking do it. We're just gonna do what we want anyway. Oh, sweet bejesus. You know what? You know what that does to me, Nate?
no, but you're gonna tell me.
That's what it does.
That's the look. That's the
look. That's the look I've got when reading that effing article at the end. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. It's really freaking hard, guys. It's really hard. Oh,
I did send you 2 emails when we started the show.
Okay.
But I don't know if we can fit those in somewhere before. Just some pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to get away from that freaking nonsense. Which did you want to go with first here?
Let's go with Myra's.
Myra's. Okay.
So some world premieres here.
Yeah. Where am I? I'm lost in my computer.
I'm in the Matrix.
That's correct, right? That's the one?
Yep.
Oh, I like the clown.
It's the Violator from Spawn.
Right. Like
Yeah.
in his clown version, yeah.
Yeah. So then the killer Chihuahua attacking Spawn. Because no one can withstand the power of the Chihuahua.
Of the Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. That sounds horrible, actually.
I know.
Yeah, she did it. Myra.
Myra.
Hi, Myra. We miss you. Myra's taking an extended break from comics, I think, which kind of sucks, but you also got to support people when they want to take a break. So she sent that to me or put it in my mailbox not too long ago. And it's a fun one.
Nate, there's a reason. There was a hashtag, I think it was last year, going around saying comics broke me.
Yeah. Yep.
So apparently that's still a thing. So Myra, do what you gotta do, but anytime you want to come and talk about comics or art or whatever, we will be here for you. So
yeah, I don't even work full time and they're breaking me, but people.
Yeah, it's I mean that's good. Yeah, comics is hard.
It's so awesome.
Nate, comics are hard.
Yeah.
Comics are really hard.
Tell me about it. And I love them. I'm loving this storytelling, this format, but it's a lot of work. I
Yeah,
just went to the printers today to pick up some stuff, and one of the people there working, she was telling me about, like, just the things that they've seen over the years, because they've worked with a lot of different artists and stuff. And she's like, you may not see success until 10 years. I was like, oh god. we're coming up on 3 years. 3 years this
Stop saying it to my face. I'm right here.
yes.
What's that?
But shut up, Wesley.
Yes. So but yeah, I don't know if you want to show the other one. This is a cover that we have not put out yet to show anyone from the second series.
There we go. Oh yeah.
From Shelby Robertson. That's a Amazing Spider-Man. Yep. Amazing Spider-Man 300 homage. And Shelby is pretty freaking talented.
No, that's amazing. That's great.
So yeah, it says after McFarlane, which is great because Shelby actually gave the due credit. But so many people
the dude, Todd McFarlane.
so many people have done this homage and like take it so seriously, and it's like, just be silly, have fun. Like,
no, that's great.
The only thing that somebody pointed out was the color of the paw on the left is that the color value is very similar to the face, so it's kind of hard to distinguish. So, but yeah, it's we're super happy to get this one done, and Jeff Monk is working through the first set of pages, and he's almost done. He's being very meticulous, so it's kind of cool to see, because it's his first time doing interiors. So, yeah.
I was just what was I listening to? I don't know. I listened to a lot of things, but they were saying how nice it is where, so many artists today will just simply do the cover and not do the interiors anymore because Nate, it's really hard. Doing comics is really hard.
It is. This is the thing about Jeff. It's part I want to say pleasure and pain, but I don't know a better acronym for whatever allegory for it right now is. I can't even think. He's being very meticulous, and he's not liking how things are turning out. So he drew like a wall of bricks in digitally, and he didn't like how it turned out. So then he hand drew a wall of bricks. It looks amazing, very time intensive.
Yeah, I wonder if I can find it real quick, but that's always been. When I was a kid, I thought, I can draw. Like, I would love to do comics, and you just realize, like, holy jeez, like, man, it's such a ridiculous thing. Especially, like you said, just the backgrounds. Like, especially because I'm a big Turtles fan. I don't know if anybody noticed.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But, like, if you're doing Turtle stuff, you're talking about doing a boatload of background, a boatload of buildings and skyscrapers and fire escapes and brick walls and this and that. And one guy, I think it's on X, but he did a 4 cover connecting thing where it's all just skyline and the turtles jumping through the cityscape, and it was just like, it's so freaking cool. And I just went like, but also going like, in my head I was like, that's so much work, just so much work. And
some people work faster than others. It's really interesting.
No, and that's the thing. I kind of got to take my sweet time, because if I press too much, and then I'll get frustrated and all that. But I can't find it. But I was just like, man, like, I was just like, holy crap, that is just. And I don't know how big, they're actually doing it, because you're not actually doing it on what's the average What's the dimensions of a comic?
So 11 by 17 is usually what they work with.
And it's not that they're actually usually working much larger. Some larger than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to find that because that was so freaking. It's so awesome. And they always showed. I think he showed like the pencils and some of the inks of it, but
Yeah.
because it just blows my mind what these guys can accomplish, so fast. And even you were saying, man, the guy's working so fast, but some
That's
can.
like a guy we're trying to work with right now. I asked him how long it would take. He's like, I could probably get it done overnight. It's like,
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry, what?
and yeah, the thing with this guy is he's really, really good. Like his detail is fantastic. But I guess some people can just work through it and some just work slower.
Yeah, it's for me. I think it's always a borderline of okay, good enough, because
Yeah.
I don't know if anything's ever perfect for an artist. Like this is like this is pretty classic, like Eastman stuff, and it's not anything crazy, but it's still like even that's still a lot of work.
Yep.
Just all that stuff, and then
Well, it's like if you remember Max doing Family Man, that architecture,
yeah,
so good, so
that
good.
honestly, that was the stuff that kind of popped off the page for me. It was just like, oh gosh, like all that architecture stuff where that's legitimate. Like that's I know there's a lot involved in art, but it's a lot of drafting. Like pick your point, make sure everything's heading towards that point. And yeah, that stuff's you 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 gotta love that level of detail, or you're just gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. Trying to look to see if it's not up there. Oh, well, I guess if you remember the one I'm talking about, if you go to the Pork Chop Instagram and scroll down a couple lines, there's the one of Max's architecture. It's so freaking clean. I guess Max's dad was an architect, so.
Oh, okay. So probably a little bit of that rubbed off.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah. There's a better one.
I say that's just
It's
interior.
it's in black and white, down a little bit, down. Right there in the middle.
Oh, this one, yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, like especially this top panel here, like that's absurd.
Yeah.
Because that's like that, and everything's right. Because there's a couple things like kind of on the house that's not quite right, but like everything from the stairways, everything is going the right way. Everything looks right, and everything. Yeah, besides the house.
I lived in that house, the middle one.
Nice.
I rented a room when I lived in Berkeley, California.
Oh, nice.
Kind of modeled the idea when I wrote it after that house. I don't know what else we've got on the menu.
I guess we talk a little bit about comics or anything that you're watching or reading right now. Anything?
No, not really at the moment. I picked up some new comics the other day. Here, I'll give a shout out. This is from a guy named DJ Dimension. He was a DJ in the 90s, and he was like big time DJ, like on MTV and all this other stuff. And he was in an accident, and I think, if I understand correctly, he had a piece of rigging fall on him and hit him in the head, like cut his head open, and kind of like had to come out of that whole scene. and we've been around each other, in the local comic scene here, and he walks around with like a wrestling championship belt on his shoulder. And I honestly, like, I was intimidated. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, what does he think he is? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm new to the scene, right? Like, what is this guy? Like, did he win the?
What's this guy's deal?
Did he win the comic book championship or something? Like, I was
Do I have to
legit,
fight this guy?
why? No, but I mean, I'm intimidated by a lot of the people. Anyways, he has this is NDX Comics. I got issues 1, 2. Oh, I just dropped something. And 3. And his storyline kind of goes into the whole nightlife and DJing scene. And he still DJs, kind of more from what I understand, more for like charity and stuff like that. But the story like kind of captivated me. I used to go to like into the nightlife in San Francisco and stuff like that. But it's about a DJ, and like he uses music to fight off evil powers. And it's kind of it ties into like partying, drug usage, things like that. People being like possessed by drugs, and I thought I like things that are original, and I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, and it might be out there. You never know. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. But I got to meet up with him earlier this week, and I gave him some copies of Chihuahuas, and I haven't got into it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So
it's not. I presume it's not saying drugs are good.
I don't think so. I haven't read it yet. I don't think so.
Okay. It's not. We're not spinning this as drugs are good type of storyline.
No. The thing is when like once you get to talk to him and know him, he's so chill. He's so nice, so mellow. And I'm like, I even told him, I'm like, the whole title belt thing kind of caught me off guard. But it was great to go to lunch with him, and I just networking and meeting people, and I could tell you one other thing, which I don't think I can get to you fast enough to pull up on the screen, but I don't know if I've told you, I've secretly been working on an anthology, trying to get ready, and this is the cover. It got turned in today, and it's hip hop based, so you can't really see it that well. But there's a DJ, break dancer. In the middle is a guy beatboxing, MC, and then graffiti. And it'll be an anthology of hip hop stories. So it's not so much focused on. It's more focused on the life of people that are a part of the hip hop community. So it's not so much like I'm going out to breakdance against this guy. It's more like, something interesting that's happening in this guy's life. Yes, there'll be part of it will be breakdancing, but the story that I wrote for this is a guy comes to see his girlfriend, but her 2 brothers won't let him in, and they're all rappers. So the one rapper, the brothers are twins, and one rapper, he raps in sign language.
I'll be right back.
Oh, so he raps in sign language. So, and then the other twin will translate, and just something different, like I don't have all the lyrics written out yet, and might actually try to get some help for that. But try to make something different. So that will be an anthology we're going to try to put together in January. Not put it together, but like launch it, have people submit, and then hopefully like June, July, get all the submissions, and then make a book. So
did you have a title for it yet? I'm sorry.
It's called Tao Street, TAOST, and it stands for the Art of Storytelling, which is a song. I thought it'd be fun to name it. It's a hip hop based song, and it's funny because Taoism is means the way, so it's like the way in the street.
I like it. There's levels to it. I like it.
Yep, just trying to make. I don't know. I want to create a bunch of different stuff, and um, yeah, I don't know how much time I have left, but I have there's nothing new under the sun. So I have a story idea, and you told me to wait to say it, but it's kind of like Misery, the Stephen King movie. If you remember that one, but the author is actually a hip hop a rapper, like a very famous rapper, and gets abducted to have blackmail, which is kind of like the movie Ricochet. If you remember Ricochet,
Right.
do you like Ricochet?
I vaguely remember it. Who's in that? Who's in Ricochet again?
John Lithgow.
I say, oh, that's John with. Oh, okay, yeah, John Lithgow and is that Denzel?
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually, my writing coach taught me this way to like break down a movie into like a mathematical equation. So I actually am kind of like reverse engineering and writing a movie out in the plot points and expanding. I actually have a spreadsheet, so I'm trying to write it out like this first from top to bottom, and then actually get into the grit of it, the meat of it.
So how do they break it down to a formula?
Let me see. I can't pull it up for you, but so I have my scene. Where to go? I have my scene header, which is interior grandma's house, interior car. Scene description: what's going on in that scene? What's the purpose of the scene? Why do we need it? So you're getting more exposition on why you need it. Then we're tying it into the hero's journey. If you know the hero with 1,000 faces.
Yep.
So then, like in this story, the rapper is at his grandma's, and his uncle is getting ready to take him to a concert. He's nearby his grandma's house to go see her, and she's like preaching to him about that he needs to come back to God, that he's veered very far, and then references to something bad happened in his past. So this is like the ordinary world, the hook. And then what changes in this scene from beginning to end, and then the translated value change, which is really cool. And this is where the mathematics come in to me, is you have to have a value shift in each scene to make it valuable. So like in the beginning, he's peaceful, and then he gets agitated from her talking. In the next scene, he's in the car with his uncle, and then he goes from agitation to being perturbed. He gets to the arena, and then he sees his fans, he sees his face on a billboard, and then he goes from perturbed to calm. So I'm not sure if I'm doing this exactly right, but like you're creating sequences, and then like, because when I did Killer Hair, she had me do this for Killer Hair, and there's just scenes that are dead. Like, it's like, why is that there? So she questioned me, like, do you need that there? I'm like, I guess not. So it makes it much more concise, at least in my opinion.
Sure. So I'm not sure if you have a villain yet for your story, but I've got one as playing on the news right now.
Johnny Cha-Cha?
His name is Diddy.
Yes. Well, then, honestly, I didn't think of that, but a bunch of people keep on saying that. But in this story, the guy gets out of it. I was thinking about having this guy connected to an even more evil person. So maybe he's connected to Diddy.
Yes.
But we'll see. I don't know. It's just a fun idea. And
Yeah,
I like Ricochet. I like Misery. It's going to get demented, and I have no idea. Never thought I was a demented guy, and then I keep writing all this weird stuff.
That's why I was like, I never thought I was normal. And then I talked to other people. I'm like, yep, definitely not normal. Just as I suspected. So, all right, Nate. So, unless you got anything else to say, I think we're just about good for today.
Yep, I think so.
All right, I got one last thing for you.
But shut up, Wesley.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Nate, where can people find you? On the socials.
Instagram, Night of the Chihuahuas is our most active account. Pork Chop Express is the publishing company. Pork Chop EXP 55 on Instagram. And yeah, we're just out and about. We're going to shows. We're going to go to Milwaukee next week and try to get some comic books in some stores there.
Okay, so
And then also
it's
and then go
pronounced
see
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. And we're also going to go see Grandma while we're there. It's
Hey.
kind of a 2-in-1, comic book shops and then maybe Grandma, and then we're also
Priorities.
we're going to San Diego Comic Fest. Austin Ackert and I will be going to San Diego Comic Fest. We have a lot of high hopes and heard good things, so just want to have some fun.
We
Probably
got
have a
Austin.
show.
We gotta have Austin back on. I like Austin.
Yeah, Austin's a good guy.
So, all right, yeah, go check him out if you're in the San Diego area or in the Milwaukee area. Go check him out. What show is in Milwaukee? Is it just?
It's called San Diego Comic Fest.
Okay.
It's like the antithesis to San Diego Comic Con because it's like it's just comics and like yeah, I'm actually looking forward to
it. It's a comic book convention.
Imagine
not
that.
A Hollywood shill fest.
You mean what do you mean San Diego Comic Con? What do you want comics?
What do you mean the comic convention? There's just comic book creators and comic book fans there. So
San Diego Disney Exposition.
San Diego. Why are cats crazy?
It's the everlasting question.
It must be the time where is there a full moon tonight? Because my animals are being dumb. So. All right, Nate. Well, let's wrap it up. So, if you want to check us out, see what we're talking about on the social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and we're sometimes on YouTube. So, need to work on that more. But, anyway. But we're just having a good time here. Thanks for watching, and good night, America. I gotta play the outro, not the intro. All right, my friend.
All
that was
right.
fun. So.
All righty. Well, have a good one. Yeah, I'll probably be out of commission for a couple of weeks. We'll be on the road. Then we get back, and I'll have to kind of get back into stability.
Yeah. So.
Yay.
All right, man.
All
right. Saturday, are you going? What's going on Saturday with the Pharaoh? Is it Pharaoh? Who's the Gonzo? Who's the guy?
Oh, Jay Gonzo. Yeah, I can go if
if you're not going, don't worry about it. But
no, but the thing is the store is literally a mile from my house.
Oh, okay.
And it's like if you wanted something, because the guy's kind of hard to get a hold of, honestly. So since he's going to be there, and there's probably not going to be a lot of people there, it's like it would be really easy to go walk in. And if you wanted another Turtles cover signed, or
yeah, I mean, if he's got something there, within reason, nothing crazy. So.
Maybe I'll text you before I head over if I'm going to go, and I can tell you what he's got and how much it is.
Yeah.
To me, did you see his new Ghost Rider cover?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm like, it would look really nice if you did Transformer cover.
Ooh,
me.
Yes.
That's but if you go there and just be like, hey man, how much would a sketch cover cost? Just let me know, because that's the idea. But I know I don't have because I think we talked about this guy before. You're like, I think he's on the come up. You're like, are you sure? I was like, I think so. And you're like, you were right.
Yeah, he's kind of cocky, honestly. I mean, I guess he's earned it. He's been around forever, but
I mean, that's the thing about all of you guys. You're all freaking independent, contractors, and yeah, when you get a little something, I mean, you worked hard for it. So I mean,
yeah,
don't be a dick, but yeah, you can be a little bit cocky.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah, I asked him if he would do a cover with us, and he quoted me quite a high price for indie, and I'm like, maybe one day, man. I can't afford it. So.
I was saying that was probably the scare off price. So
yeah.
I was like, yeah, all right, thanks, bye. So
yep. Well, he's friends with the guy that gave us a hard time, so There's probably some layer of that in it.
All right. So.
All right, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bye.
Peace.